This work, Cover Up the Reveal, is the second in a series of large 9-foot sculptures I've done, which look at statuary and the idea of a monumentalism within society and who's represented, and how monumental statues, sculptures in this case, are used to sort of propagate images of power and who we look up to in society. Which really references ancient sculptures and also sculpture through more contemporary society, which looks at grand figures that we're supposed to look up to, this idea of the monumental, the powerful man. And I take images of black men to look at how we view these types of people, these almost archetypes in society, as a microcosm for how we basically structure power systems in societies. And the fact that it's a 9-foot large-scale sculpture out in the public realm is about really almost forcing people to confront the image of a type of person that they tend to either ignore, avoid, or be told negative things about. And then around that piece, we also have a series called the Numen Shifting Votive series, and they are a series of heads which are made to sort of look similar to one another, and they take their reference points again from ancient Greek, but also from ancient Egyptian. Numen means divine presence, and so it's this idea of this sort of divine figure which sort of rises above daily trials and tribulations. And the shifting votive is about this votive element of worship. So it's about literally the idea behind the work is to shift who we see as important, who we see as valuable. And then inside the power plant, in the upper galleries, we see 3 composite white acrylic heads of, again, fictional people. And it's looking at the notion of portraiture and how portraiture has been used to denote who's important, who's powerful, how to make a record of the powerful, those who've achieved things. And again, how that affects who we expect to see success come from, who we allow to have praise and to have achievement. Next to those are a series of photographs which form a grid, and it's my hands rearranging the pages of books which catalogue ancient Greek sculptures. And that's all about provenance, about how we give things history and how we create narratives for objects, and how a narrative can be then become fact. So it's really about taking control of provenance, of narrative, and how that is, it's really alluding to the fact that it's all manipulated in the initial kind of phase. And then in the rear room upstairs, the sculptures I made for my first solo show, and it's called Angel Town, and that's an area in Brixton in South London where I'm from. It was initially a very run-down estate which received almost no funding and was considered a no-go zone at one time. A series of 5 bronze sculptures of male figures standing in contemporary clothing, cast in bronze, which sit on very slick car spray painted bases, often metallic and bright colours. And the pedestal talks about notions of display and institution. So this is the kind of thing you could see in a kind of a members club. And it talks about these institutions, which again are places of power. They decide, again, who we view as powerful. These figures themselves, these characters, are made up, almost like Frankenstein's. But the sculptures themselves are also composites, like Frankenstein's. So every bit of material and every reference point to a different time a different point in time is part of the meaning of the work.